Superhero battles have captivated audiences for decades, but few matchups are as intense and thought-provoking as Omni-Man versus Homelander. Both characters represent the dark side of superhuman power beings who are nearly unstoppable and have little regard for human life. But if these two ever clashed in a no-holds-barred battle, who would emerge victorious? To answer this, we must delve into their origins, abilities, combat experience, and weaknesses. This is not just about brute force. It's about strategy, endurance, and the ability to outthink an opponent in the heat of battle. Let's analyze their strengths and limitations to determine who would stand tall in the end. Origins and psychological complexity. The origins of these two characters define not just their powers, but also their approach to battle. Omni-Man, also known as Nolan Grayson, is a Viltrumite, a member of a warlike alien race that values strength above all else. His people believe in the survival of the fittest, and he was sent to Earth to prepare it for conquest. Unlike a traditional villain, he was not driven by personal ambition, but by his duty to his race. However, his time on Earth created a conflict within him. His love for his wife and son made him question his mission. Homelander, on the other hand, was never meant to be a soldier. He was created in a lab, raised without a true family, and conditioned to be a corporate product rather than a warrior. His entire personality is shaped by a need for validation, a desperate hunger for admiration and control. This fundamental insecurity makes him a dangerous and unpredictable force. Unlike Omni-Man, he does not operate with a warrior's discipline. His arrogance often leads him to underestimate opponents, which could be a fatal flaw against a battle-hardened warrior like Omni-Man. In a direct fight, mental resilience and strategic thinking play a huge role. Omni-Man has faced countless battles across the galaxy, fought wars, and survived encounters with beings as strong as himself. Homelander, despite his overwhelming power, has never faced an equal opponent. This difference in experience could prove to be a crucial factor in determining the outcome of their battle. Strength, durability, and endurance. Both characters possess superhuman strength far beyond human limitations, but their respective universes set different benchmarks for their power levels. Omni-Man exists in a world where beings of similar strength exist, and he has repeatedly proven himself in combat. His battles against other Viltrumites, especially against Thrag, show that he can withstand planet-shattering blows and keep fighting. He has survived in deep space, fought entire alien armies single-handedly, and demonstrated an endurance level that makes him one of the deadliest beings in his universe. Homelander, by contrast, has never truly tested his limits. In his world, he is the most powerful being by far, and no one has been able to challenge him. His feats of strength are immense, lifting cars effortlessly, flying at supersonic speeds, and casually tearing through human flesh, but he has never been pushed to his breaking point. His durability is high, but there is no evidence that he could survive a prolonged battle against an opponent of equal or greater power. Omni-Man's ability to heal and recover from devastating injuries further gives him an advantage. He has taken blows that would obliterate most beings and continued fighting, whereas Homelander's durability has never been tested against anything close to his own strength level. This could mean that while Homelander appears invincible in his world, he may not be able to withstand the level of punishment that Omni-Man can dish out. That's speed and fighting skill. Speed in battle is more than just how fast a character can move. It's about reaction time, adaptability, and the ability to strike before an opponent has a chance to react. Omni-Man has demonstrated speeds far beyond what Homelander has shown. He has traveled between planets in hours, reacted to attacks at superhuman speeds, and fought at a level where most opponents can't even register his movements. Homelander, while incredibly fast, has not shown feats that compare to Omni-Man's interplanetary speed. His flight is impressive and he can move faster than the human eye can track, but he has never had to use his speed in a real fight. Speed alone doesn't win battles, but when combined with skill and experience, it becomes a lethal advantage. Fighting skill is where Omni-Man truly outshines Homelander. As a Viltrumite warrior, he has been trained in hand-to-hand combat, planetary warfare, and strategic fighting. His battles against opponents like Thrag, who are just as strong as he is, have forced him to refine his technique. He fights with precision and efficiency, never wasting a movement. Homelander, in contrast, is not a trained fighter. He relies on raw power and intimidation rather than technique. His battles are one-sided massacres where he simply overpowers weaker foes. If he were to face an opponent who is faster, stronger, and more skilled, he would struggle to adapt. This lack of combat training would put him at a severe disadvantage against Omni-Man, who has fought and defeated opponents who actually challenge him. Weaknesses and psychological instability. Every powerful being has weaknesses, and both Omni-Man and Homelander are no exception. However, the nature of their weaknesses is vastly different. Omni-Man's vulnerabilities are primarily physical. While he is incredibly durable, he is not invincible. He can be injured by beings of similar strength, and enough sustained damage can bring him down. Additionally, his emotional ties, particularly his connection to his son, Invincible, can sometimes cloud his judgment. Homelander's weaknesses, on the other hand, are largely psychological. His need for control and admiration makes him incredibly unstable. He thrives in an environment where he is worshipped, but when faced with a real challenge, he becomes unpredictable. His arrogance prevents him from recognizing threats until it's too late. If he realizes he is losing, his confidence could shatter, making him reckless and prone to mistakes. Another key factor is that Omni-Man has faced and overcome his weaknesses in battle before. He has been pushed to his limits and still managed to survive. Homelander, by contrast, has never had to deal with true adversity. If put in a situation where he is truly outmatched, he may not have the mental resilience to continue fighting. This psychological fragility is perhaps his greatest weakness in a battle against someone as relentless as Omni-Man. The final outcome, who would stand victorious, taking all these factors into account, the outcome of this battle becomes clear. Omni-Man would decisively defeat Homelander. While Homelander is a terrifying figure in his own world, his power has never been tested against a true warrior. He relies on fear and intimidation, neither of which would work against someone like Omni-Man. Omni-Man's superior strength, endurance, speed, and combat experience would give him the upper hand from the very start. Homelander might attempt to use his heat vision as a ranged attack, but given Omni-Man's durability and reaction speed, it would not be enough to put him down. Once the fight became close quarters, Homelander's lack of skill would be his downfall. Omni-Man's brutal efficiency in combat would allow him to dominate Homelander in a matter of minutes. Homelander's arrogance and inexperience would prevent him from adapting to Omni-Man's relentless assault. He would likely start the battle with overconfidence, only to realize too late that he was outmatched. Omni-Man, knowing how to finish a fight quickly, would not hesitate to end Homelander in the most brutal fashion possible. In the end, Homelander is a god among men, but Omni-Man is a god among gods. Against a being who has conquered worlds and fought wars across the galaxy, Homelander would stand no chance. The battle would be swift, bloody, and one-sided. Omni-Man would emerge victorious, proving once and for all that strength alone is not enough. Experience, skill, and the will to win determine the true champion. Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.